NoBSNutrition. This is podcast 3. I will talk about pre-workout training and a younger audience. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, my name is Drake or NoBSNutrition. This is podcast 3. I'm going to talk about my script right here of what I think about these things, what I will do, and what's my opinions. So let's stay tuned. Pre-workout, do you need it? Pre-workout is good for expending more energy. It's pretty much just caffeine with understems, of course, that provides a better pump and better activity when working out. Pre-workout can give you the benefit of pushing yourself even harder when you know that you have to push yourself, especially if you're not used to it. But what I would not recommend pre-workout to is someone who has a crappy training program, who's not really trying to get stronger, or the reliance on pre-workout. You can easily be addicted on energy drinks, etc. That's what I'm struggling with. I am addicted with it. It's not good, especially for the younger audience. I am honest to say that I am addicted to pre-workout. I actually got a pre-workout. Rise right here. I only recommend people who got their training on point, especially if you use the extra energy on something that's more physically active. So you just have to keep in mind and be aware of pre-workout is not a magical supplement that makes you stronger. It just helps you perform better energy. There's multiple times I got stronger without any energy drinks during my days of training. So I just want you guys to keep in mind of that, of course. Would it help with training? We just talked about in a sense. I want to kind of go into more detail. So the people who's using mostly pre-workout is the younger generation like me, 16, 15, 18-year-olds, even 20-year-olds. These pre-workout can be good and beneficial to perform extra energy in the gym and trying to get stronger, because maybe in that last set and you just pumped up. But it's a certain point that it gets too ridiculous, especially if you take 800 milligrams of caffeine, especially high stem pre-workout that has like 800 milligrams or 400 milligrams of caffeine in one scoop, which I highly recommend to slow that down. Form of way to get more energy. So what I recommend pre-workout is up to you. It's up to you to actually focus and see that you can use in the gym, but you do not need it. It is not necessary to perform. Shakes, supplements, and other things. Shakes, supplements, and other things like testosterone boosters are usually form of the younger generation. I took supplements that I actually needed when I was more going to my training. When I was 144 lean, 13% body fat or someone like that, I had to take supplements. But luckily I found good sources on credibility on YouTube and other social media platforms to learn that I don't need testosterone boosters. Those are stupid. Testosterone boosters, especially when you're younger and you're a male, you already got a lot of testosterone building up, especially going to puberty. You get to make you more muscle and etc. But it's all a misconception. It's fake stuff. Just eat more whole foods, eat protein, and work out. That is your testosterone. That's how you can make your testosterone, your natural testosterone, better to actually perform in the gym long term and to get stronger. Even with these shakes and supplements, it's certain supplements I will suggest to take for the older generation and the younger generation. Magnesium, zinc, fish oil, or vitamin D. The reason why I say these is not because to promote muscle growth, but your hormones do matter, especially nowadays vitamin D. We are in UV light, schooling, etc. We don't have natural sun. Some of us work day to night. We don't get sunlight. We're always inside. So vitamin D is a great source. Even for me, I might have to take vitamin D because I have darker skin. Even though I'm in the sun 24/7 doesn't mean anything. So even the younger generation has to understand that even though you're active, you might need some vitamin D sources. Not because it's going to give you more muscle, but it's going to help you with energy, which in a sense will build more muscle over time because you can perform better in the gym. Also, creatine. Creatine is like a 100-year study now. It improves brain function, etc. The 3 supplements I would recommend to most people is creatine, because it's like nature's multivitamin in a sense. Creatine. The second is fish oil. Not a lot of people eat fish. Not a lot of people have omega-3 fatty acids in their system, which can actually help with more hormone production. So fish oil and vitamin D with energy. My client is taking more vitamin D. She might have better energy overall. And this under supplement is this magical thing that we all hear when we're young, but we never get a reason why. It's sleep. Sleep is the only time you can get recovered and improve your ability to build muscle. Every gym bro knows that if they have shitty sleep, even with all the testosterone or whatever they're taking, it's going to hinder their growth to build more muscle. And also the energy and mood ratio. So sleep is magical because it actually works. You need sleep. At least aim for 9 hours because most likely it will take about 30 to an hour to fall asleep. So at least you gain 8 hours. That's my recommend supplements. Shakes. Shakes are also good in a sense. I will also tell the younger and older generation, aim for whole foods. At a point of my career of getting to fitness, I had a shake and protein bar diet, which was horrible. I was always hungry. I was just eating protein bars, these processed healthy foods, quotation marks, that didn't really help me in the long term with my hormones. Also, my sleep was crap too because these protein bars and shakes were gassy. Even the protein bars and shake now compared to the 80s are still bad for you. It has a lot of ingredients. Maybe whey is terrible because you have digestive problems of I forgot the name. Milk sources, soy, and etc. So maybe you have to do casing. I experiment with all of these things. But the best thing of shakes, the best version of it is whole foods, which is not shake, but it's whole foods that we all know and love. I'm not just talking about vegetables, but I'm talking about meat sources, fish, fruits. Those are way better than shakes and bars. Cheaper as well, especially if you can meal prep it and do 3 meals a day. It is way cheaper. So if you're younger or older generation, I was trying to stay away from shakes and bars and not trying to make it your whole diet. But they're not terrible for a snack or just to hit a protein goal. But I would heavily use shakes. No, I would heavily use whole foods other than shakes. Training for older and younger audience. These apply for both form of spectrum. For the younger audience, training in early age can build muscle over time. It is easier to keep muscle and maintain it than build it. We all know this. We all know also it's easier to lose fat. And for the older audiences can help with bone density, aging, etc. and trying to be there for your kids in the long term. Also, it can prevent injury, especially if you're turning to see your kids or playing with your kids or tossing the football or even picking up your kids or bending down. It helps with the older audience to decrease fractures and be stronger. If you're not stronger and you're not being selfish with your own time and trying to take care of your own self, you won't actually be a better person in that term of sense because you won't perform as good. You don't want to say no to your kids because you have back pain or you have this or that. You want to be strong. You want to be able to lift that weight to be more independent. Also, for the younger audience, it's great to be strong in muscles and being shredded and all, but if you're not strong enough to actually be shredded or not strong enough in general, there's no point. My point is, for the younger audience, you should actually build more muscle, be better than yourself, try to focus on something that will actually improve your quality of life, your future life, and your present life. Because that's what we're going to go over in your 20s. And let's say you took about a 5 years of no training, right? You're in your 20s, you took about 5 years of no training, but when you were 14 all the way to 19, you're training like crazy. That is muscle memory, so you can easily get that back. And you're still strong than you were before, or even stronger. So for the younger audience, it's actually a great positive, just because it can carry to your 30s, 40s, and even 50s. And you will look younger as well, you get a better head start. Some training programs like starting strength, mind pump, or 4 compound lifts, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, or pull-ups or rows, something like that. Those are free. Those are free on the internet, and the only thing you have to do is research those things. Trying to figure out a program that you want to do. Starting Strength focused on their version of the 5 compound lifts and technique. I actually did Starting Strength. It's free on their website called YouTube, or the actual website called Starting Strength. You can look through it and learn how to do the program. It is completely for free, and the only thing you have to do is just start it. It is not hard to put in a notepad and say Starting Strength and do it for 3 months. My squat reached 315 for 2. My bench reached 205. My overhead press reached 155. And my deadlift reached 355. And I'm only 16 years old. And I'm almost at the basic intermediate weight at 16. So anyone can be strong for free. Just do the research. You can carve 10 minutes out of your time, even if you're busy. Carve 10 minutes just to do the research. Go on YouTube, say save for later, and just watch it when you're done. It is completely for free, especially like my different versions, like 15 minutes, etc. They have science to back it up. They're great people to learn from. Even just learning the 4 compound list, which I recommend for the older and younger generation to do, because it's a quick way to make your arms bigger with your traps. It's faster and quicker than bodybuilding movements. Of course, if you're like a athlete or have any injuries, you have to adapt and try to adjust these movements, of course. Which is the next part of the script, is if you have injury or you're an athlete. If you have an injury, for example, you might have to switch the compound list to machine work, or get a different program, not like push-pull legs or etc. Those random programs. You might have to switch to a machine, which is not terrible if you have an injury, but focus on the root of the cause. If you have ankle problems, focus maybe you have to do mobility. Even for the younger generation, just because you're young and probably playing a sport and have injury, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do mobility. Do mobility. I do mobility. I feel way better. I'm less stiff. Right now, today is my mobility day. What I'm going to do is do some 99 rotation, try and get my hips loose so I don't cause injury. It's all fun and games to go in the gym and pumping up, but if you have an injury and tore your ACL on a deadlift, then you can't really train. So even for the older generation, which is more important, but also the younger generations to learn, is also important. It is no excuse for both generations to not learn mobility. We have the internet. Just because that's some misinformation, is your ability to learn and trying to guide through it. So there's no excuses. For athletes, this calls to you too. You can still strength train, but obviously it's weight class and it's multiple things that you need to do, right? But what I will focus for athletes is maybe do like not a squat, but do a squat variation so it doesn't have too much focus on your legs. Do your sport more. Only do 2 times a day. You really just need 2 times a day of strength training. Focus on your sport, trying to get strong, but not trying to gain some muscle mass. Trying to train for strength instead of doing bodybuilding. You can still work out and train, just you have to be a little bit more specific because it actually goes to your sport. So someone like playing soccer, you might have to be more athletic. But training can help with that. But stronger legs might help you to become faster. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Also, if you're this works for both groups, you don't need 4 to 5 to 6 days of training. Even for the younger audience, I'm talking to you. I used to do it and it did not benefit me. Now I'm doing only 4 days of training, doing the squat, bench, deadlift, 4 days overhead press pull, 4 days, 3 days off, and I feel way better. I'm stronger in the gym than I were before, and that's what you really need for the most group of people. For 99.99% of people, I'm talking to you, you just need 3 to 4 days. Even 2 is good. You're not gonna hurt yourself by not doing 4 days. More is not better in training some of the time. Less is actually better in training. But it depends on the quality of training, what you do. So there's no half-assing your 4 days of training, but is no doing a lot of volume. Most people need more intensity, but less volume, more rest days, pretty much. That's what I'm saying. So just keep that in mind. This can help you prevent injuries for younger and older audience. So just because you're an age gap of 20 to 40 years old, this still applies to you, but someone needs to talk to different audiences to understand that you don't need this, and you definitely don't need this, and this is a misconception. Okay? Well, that is really it for podcast 3. I talked about training. I'm talking about supplements. I'm talking about pre-workout. I'm talking to both audience, both age, both age groups. And I just want to say that this is really for this video. If you like podcasts like this and you want me to talk about something else in this place, please like, subscribe, share this with a friend. Comment below for some video ideas. Maybe you want me to talk about this or that, or you want me actually have a better topic. Whatever, just comment below. This is NoBSNutrition.